1,000 times worse than I expected. Not 100 times. It's 1,000 times worse than I expected. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd see something like this.
It's 7 a.m. and in Pelham, New York, funeral director Clive Anderson is starting a busy day.
Right now, with this pandemic, in New York City, we have over 700 deaths a day in New York City. So the volume of deaths, there's not enough funeral homes to keep up with the volume.
These pictures Clive took are now a common sight across New York. Hospitals' mortuaries are full, and so the deceased lay in refrigerated trucks. Have you ever seen anything like this before, Clive?
I never have. I don't think I ever will again. At least I hope I never will.
Pelham Funeral Home is a small business, and Clive and his staff are doing the very best they can to handle the volume.
The last few days has been like, I can't explain it. It was like it came from left field. On April 1st, I got my first COVID-19 case. And I said to myself, it's not really going to affect me that much. I'm a small little funeral home in the suburbs of New York City. And since then, the floodgates have opened and it's been non-stop since.
I was calling to find out if the home was able to take on any new clients or families for services at this time.
Basically,
What have the numbers been like, Clive? How many people have been coming in?
this time last year, we had probably 3 funerals done for the month. To date, we've done close to 40 funerals in the last 13 days. That's 40 funerals in the last 13 days. That's nearly half our annual volume, and we've done it in 13 days here in Pelham.
So the increase is enormous.
It's overwhelming.
So you're getting calls from people who may have already called 5, 6, 10, 12 funeral homes.
Yes. I mean, we're getting calls, we're probably getting about 40 calls a day from people who have called many funeral homes before us. I had one individual call me today, and he's in Queens, and he says the funeral home he spoke to, they said their next availability was May 30th. So that's a month and a half from now.
With rules and regulations introduced, there are no funeral masses or religious ceremonies allowed. It's a quick goodbye at the funeral home and then off to the cemetery, where there is a line of hearses already waiting to enter. So what has happened, Clive, to people who want the mass, who want a priest, who want a service and minister? Has that completely stopped now?
Unfortunately, yeah, and that has been very upsetting to a lot of people. You know, especially people who have been lifelong Catholics, you know, have received all their sacraments, and now they want to have a Catholic funeral mass. The unfortunate thing is a lot of cemeteries, I can think of one in particular, that they will only allow one family member into the cemetery along with the hearse. You know the old saying that says, you don't know what you've had till you lost it.
Funeral home where we're just passing. Other cemeteries close by are completely closed, and loved ones simply leave flowers outside. And for those looking for cremation, it's not much better.
The crematoriums are overrun. So to get a cremation at the moment, it takes 6 weeks to schedule a cremation. Normally you can schedule a cremation within 24 hours and have it taken care of. But because of this and the huge volume, it's now up to 6 weeks.
I heard a story, one of FBI's hearses was going through, driving in Brooklyn, and somebody hailed it down like a cab and said, my mother died upstairs and nobody can help her.
Back at the funeral home, the calls keep coming in.
So I have all the information you gave me. I just want to go back over to make sure it's all correct, because this is going to go on the death certificate. My philosophy is I never say no. We never say no to anybody. And I can't say no. How can you say no to somebody who's lost their loved one? How can you say no to somebody who's lost their child? How can you say no to somebody who's lost their grandparent? It's inhumane to say no. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this as easy as I can for you, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, if I can get a little bit of information over the phone.
This, of course, is something that we're all dealing with, but I suppose, Clive, like the medical staff, you're there on the front line with the work that you do. How has this taken a toll on you, and how are you dealing with it?
I get a lot of energy out of helping people, and I also get a lot of strength from my faith. And, you know, my faith is everything that I have. We're here for a reason. We're all in life, we're here for a purpose. We all have a purpose, and I do feel this is my purpose, and this is why God has put me here. You know, when you lose all these things and you lose the important things in your life, it's then you really know what you've missed and you start to appreciate it more. I think God is going to carry us through this. I really do think He is. He's not going to let us alone. He's not forgetting about us. He's going to carry us through this. We'll get through this.